What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Titans Table for Two in the two-tone blue. That's Andrew.
And that's Christian.
And we're going to do our last and final mock draft before the big day Thursday. And we're going to talk a little bit about Cam Ward. Got some videos to react to, but we'll be back in just a second to do all that for you.
And, I mean, you look at the numbers that Steve McNair, which we'll talk about in just a moment. It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Maybe that's what the commissioner was looking at, his statistics at Alcorn State.
With the third choice in the first round, the Houston Oilers select quarterback from Alcorn State, Steve McNair.
All right.
The Washington Redskins are now on the clock.
All right, they had the guts to pull the trigger. Steve McNair, 14,496 yards passing in 4 years. 2,300 yards running the football. Passing touchdowns and running touchdowns combined, 152 touchdowns. I don't care who he's playing against, Joe. That's unbelievable.
You bring up the most important point, Chris.
All right, shout-outs, and flashback to the GOAT of the Titans organization.
Heck yeah, my favorite player ever. Oh, man.
All right, we got some stuff we're going to get into with you guys. First off, like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Let us know what you think about any of these topics and things we're going to talk about today, videos we're going to watch, and the mock draft. We're going to do our final mock draft before the big day Thursday. And also, shout out to CPN, Curtis Podcast Network, for having us on.
Mm-hmm.
Go check them out for the AFC South show that we have. We have podcasts for almost any team in the league, other sports as well, working on all of that. Hopefully have a podcast for about every team in sports out there eventually.
But, yeah, the big news, the biggest news, the offseason hit last week.
Oh, real quick, did you want to touch on Thursday real quick about Dominic's?
Yeah.
I meant to touch on that. That's my fault.
Yes, we will also be doing a live watch-along on Thursday. We're going to be live from Dominic's in Hermitage, Tennessee, for all the Nashville natives. They invited us out to do a show and watch the draft with everybody. They're going to have drink specials and stuff like that. So if you're in the area, feel free to come by, have a good time with a bunch of Titans fans, and we're going to be there too, sharing in all the draft day celebration.
Absolutely. And before we get into the lack of surprises that we should expect on the number one pick, go ahead and get into some of the breaking news from last week that should excite all Titans fans. If you're a true Titans fan, you should be excited.
The biggest news of the offseason.
This is the best news that the Titans have had in a year or two.
They have released NPF. He is no longer a Titan. So,
and I hate to be a jerk and be happy.
Yeah, it's a little dramatic, but yeah.
It's all, we're just kind of making light of it. But I do hate. I'm not trying to celebrate somebody losing their job, but it's been miserable, man, and it's been a long time coming for that change, and I'm just glad we made the move. Saved a few bucks there, a few buckaroos.
Yeah,
$3 million to be exact.
Right around $3 million, yeah. But today there was a press conference with Chad Brinker, Mike Borgonzi, and Brian Callahan. A couple of big takeaways. One, Borgonzi said they did come to a consensus that they're 100% not trading the first round pick. Nobody, even if somebody called. I mean, I think we all kind of figured at this point. He said there were some offers made, and he wouldn't go into details, obviously, because he's not going to do that. But
right.
But there's
writing's on the wall, though.
Zero chance they trade the pick is what he said. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest things for me too was he was asked several times about the receiver and the edge position, because we know those are the biggest needs after the quarterback. And he said, if they're at 35 and they don't trade back, they can't trade back, they're not going to take one of those positions just because it's a need. They're going to draft the best player available on their board. They're going to work horizontal and vertical, and if it ends up being a linebacker or a safety or whatever it is, they're going to take the best player. They're not going to do it based on need. So they're not going to reach for a Jaden Higgins at 35.
I'm not sure how much I believe that or believe in that as a good strategy, even, to be honest with you. I think, why don't you address your biggest needs? You know, if James Pierce or Egbuka is there at 35.
Yeah, I think those would be the
Take
picks,
him,
though,
right?
but I think they'd be ranked higher. But like, say they're all say Higgins, Egbuka, Pierce, Burden, and Ezeruku are all gone. You're not going to reach for a Kyle Williams at 35. You'll take,
I suspect one of these
Josh
guys is going to
Simmons
be
or something.
available.
I do too.
So,
But you never know how the draft board is
there's
actually
too much
gonna fall.
talent, in the draft for some of these guys. I just feel like we got a chance to get a really good player at 35.
I do too.
I'm really hoping. Honestly, I think I'm hoping. It's a tough pick between edge rush and wide receiver, but if you had to nail me to the floor to pick, I guess I'd rather have a wide receiver because I think you can get another good edge rush,
The deep edge
down
player.
the line.
But also, if you look at like the most recent top picks at quarterbacks, almost all, like every time their next pick has been a receiver or a weapon for that quarterback. So I don't think that's a surprise at all. So
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a real solid, talented wide receiver to run parallel with him. Calvin Ridley's a great veteran and stuff to have kind of on the team, but we're going to need more than Calvin Ridley. So
older guy though for sure. Those are the biggest ones, and then Callahan talked about the balance in teaching. They're not straight up saying, "Hey, we're drafting Cam Ward," but so he's talking in generalizations. If you have a player that does this and this kind of thing, but like
if you know how to color within the lines.
Yeah, but he was saying like if
kind of tell.
you have a quarterback that throws with these different arm angles, do you coach him out of it, or do you let him just do him? He's like, there's a fine line. You got, you want to. There's a certain way you're supposed to play the position, but you don't want to take what makes him special away from him.
Mm-hmm.
And and then it's also like you earn more the better you play, and you're able to earn the trust. Like, oh, he can make something happen right here,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. So I thought that was really interesting too. They kind of just talked around Cam Ward the whole time, but
Wouldn't that be something, man? We get there and freaking Shedeur Sanders' name, I'll lose my mind, man, because I'm so sold on it now, man.
Oh.
I think any kind of diversion from that right now would just throw me off.
We didn't even talk about this, and we were obviously missed last weekend's show because of Easter, and so that's why we had to get one in.
We're late, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, but did you catch any of Cam Ward's Fortnite streams?
A little bit. I've actually subscribed. He came up on my feed randomly, man, and I was like, well, I'll subscribe to that. I haven't. I watched a short video on one, but I didn't even get to finish it. I don't think. I think I got distracted by whatever was going on around me. It's just such a busy weekend and stuff, man. I'm tired still from that.
He did it like it was either like Tuesday, Thursday, or Wednesday, Thursday. It was like 2 nights in a row, but it was funny. He was definitely pandering to like all the Titans fans and the thing. So people were asking him who the best running backs in the league, and he said Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears and Derrick Henry. And then he said who the best receivers in the league, and he said Calvin Ridley, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and Traylon Burks were the best receivers in the league.
Nice.
And then he said my favorite coaches are Brian Callahan. And then he said like Brian Daboll and some other guys like that are picking high in the draft. But he said first off, Brian Callahan. I
saw him in a stream was saying tighten up and stuff like that. That's
so many people were like, because they have like the NFL outfits on there, so many people were wearing their Titans jerseys and dropping in and helping them kill people in the game and stuff like that. It was funny.
That's hilarious.
He's definitely, you can tell he's funny. So, and he was just having a good time with it. He was playing with
that makes me feel a little old, man. I tell you what, seeing draft picks come in there and doing 4 night streams, man. I know nothing about.
He was playing with Xavier Restrepo too. It was funny.
Yeah.
He said he told Mike Bergonzi to draft Restrepo.
Nice.
But yeah, that was a pretty good little stream. But you want to get into these?
Yeah, as I say, you got a video to queue up.
Yeah, I got 2 of them. Both of them Rich Eisen. The first one was from a few days ago. The title is "What's at Stake for the Titans if they draft Cam Ward?" So that's gonna be the first one. We share this video. And we'll get into it.
2 or 3 generational talents in Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, throw Ashton Genty in there. Why do you think they're willing to settle?
Well, I think what you're hitting on, Russell, an interesting word that you settled on the word settle, because that is the way I think everyone who it doesn't believe in Cam Ward's generational ability views he's being pushed up to the top of the draft board just because he's a quarterback and wouldn't ordinarily be at the top of the draft board if he was in a different draft, and so on and so forth, and that the Titans are settling for him. And all I would say is this: the front office and the coaching staff aren't just doing it just because they're sick and tired of what they saw from Will Levis. They have to believe that Cam Ward is this good. They're not just doing it based on the fact that, well,
yeah, you're not going to go out there and dress some Joe Schmo.
Well, there's so many people still look at like that. They don't want to adapt with the NFL. Like the quarterback isn't this drop back statue pocket passer anymore. You know, you need someone with some traits like Cam Ward has, and his traits and his play and the value.
Well, I think Will Levis even had a few of those traits as well. He just didn't.
It's all
he didn't have it here on game day, man.
No, he doesn't. But yeah, so there is value in the quarterback. But if they didn't think he was worth the number 1 pick, they wouldn't take him.
And I think that's the main thing that I love as much as when I watch Cam Ward. The biggest, like, if you're going to compare him to Will Levis, it's the relaxed nature on the field, man. He's just so composed.
Yeah,
looks like he's unbothered by everything. So it's that's what I like the most. It's a stark difference in contrast between what we saw this year. And I mean, it's next level of football that he's going to be playing. So I mean, hopefully he can carry that on to this level, but we'll see. But that's why I'm excited, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Oh,
we're not first overall too much more often, and we're at the top of the draft board. So we're just going to take the quarterback just because they have to have grinded the tape and have talked to the kid in a way that we haven't. And all I would just say is in that you have to trust Russell, to be honest with you, for a fact. And I appreciate the call.
That makes me feel, that makes me feel a little better. I'd say that Brian Callahan has not yet shown that he can develop talent. We somehow.
Well, I mean, honestly, Will Levis just may not be the guy. You know what I mean? And or he could be some other day in the same mode. And thanks for the call. In the same mode as Baker or Sam Darnold or Jared Goff, and somebody's got to get more time in, and then another opportunity, and then finds the groove. And
it's definitely
Geno
Levis
Smith, as we all know, had to wait a long time. But it does appear that Will Levis is now going to be on that career path for the moment, because they're going to take Cam Ward. And again, guy went to Incarnate Word, Washington State, and then the U. And then at the U, just lit it completely up and shows an ability to throw off platform and has an ability to come back and just flip a switch like Cam Ward time that we didn't see from many other quarterbacks this year. How many times were we like, well, Miami, they're going to be out of the national championship race in the next 5 minutes. Oh, no, they won.
Yep. Yeah.
That happened over and over again.
I remember watching that Cal game. It was crazy.
And again, the Titans know. Brian Callahan knows. The new general manager there knows. They get this thing wrong. It's the bricks. It's the bricks.
Yeah. And I feel like Russell Rich, I said this
And that goes back to what I kind of been saying the whole time, man. Just like he seems too good, man. I'm just scared. I was scared to not take a quarterback in general, either one of the guys, and now I'm scared not to take Cam Ward. That would be. I feel like that's something we're going to look back and regret, eventually, if we don't take him.
Yeah, I think if you look at the two sides of the coin, like take him and he doesn't pan out, or don't take him and he does pan out, I think that's way worse than giving him a chance.
I think it's way worse. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Way worse than not take him and all of a sudden he's an elite quarterback and you had the chance to take him.
Right.
It's not. It wouldn't be like you say they went and got Abdul Carter. It would be like you whiffed and you picked the wrong quarterback, because that happens sometimes.
Right.
Like you picked Mitchell Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes. A lot of people, everybody said Mitchell Trubisky should be number one. You wouldn't be the only one. But if you went Abdul Carter and didn't get the franchise quarterback when you had the chance and everybody was talking about it, man, you would look so stupid. Hey, this was right before WrestleMania, so this makes sense.
Yesterday, if you know you have someone
we'll talk about that
who
later.
can't miss, like everyone's saying Hunter is, why don't you just take him? Go for it.
Again, you know how I feel about it, that you're not just drafting one, you're drafting two players, which is why I would trade draft choices to go up to go get him. Because if you're like, well, we're trading our first and our second round draft picks for him, well, guess what? You're getting the top corner, you're getting the top wide receiver. And if you had the top wide receiver and top corner on your draft board as your first and second round choices, and you walk away from the draft, you're like, we got our top quarterback, top wide receiver and our top cornerback. Well, you could get both in one pick.
Yeah.
So you know how I feel about it, but I'm not the one grinding tape and making the evaluation. And in terms of Cam Ward, as I mentioned on this show multiple times, on First Take on Thursday as part of the crossover with NFL Network, and I'll keep mentioning this because I like to flex. Back in the day, somebody took 3 different stops in their college football career. It's red flag. Yeah. What is going on? They must have gotten injured. They must have one at their world. That's just the way of the world now. And a lot of these kids are coming in. You heard Kyle McCord basically say,
Norm? That's the norm.
I have been in the white hot spotlight of a,
All right. Fine, right there. Yeah, I agree. They've done their homework. They're not going to just pick him to pick him. But so the next one is today with Todd McShay. Why the Titans should draft Cam Ward overall, which we all know they're going to do. But why does Todd McShay think we should do it?
Todd,
why not?
Wave a wand and say there is still a discussion in that building about the first overall pick. Somebody calls you up, Todd McShay, and says, "Listen, we studied the crap out of Cam Ward. We like everything about him, including the way he plays Twitch and on Twitch. Plays Fortnite. Okay, and they've studied it all.
But said including the way he plays Twitch,
pounding the table for Travis Hunter, and they ask you, Todd McShay, advice.
Way he plays Twitch.
What should we do with the number 1 overall pick? Your answer would be what?
What should we do?
Yeah.
I think you take Cam Ward. You have an opportunity. I think the traits are there. You have a head coach in Callahan who's been around.
Pause it real quick.
He's been around Peyton Manning and Matthew Stafford.
Wasn't he on the Abdul Carter train?
Haven't
we reacted?
We definitely. He was on
picking Abdul Carter and trading down and all that stuff.
It's definitely possible, but I mean,
I'm pretty sure Todd McShay was on that "we're not a quarterback away" type train.
yeah, he might have said that they're not a quarterback away, so the Giants should take him.
They're not a quarterback away for the Super Bowl. I mean, it's just
he looks tired.
Yeah, I feel him.
Joe Burrow, he's been around guys and knows how to develop them, and now you've got this clay, if you will. A quarterback who's got great instincts in the pocket, even though he's relaxed and he's kind of just hanging out there sometimes. If you can channel his instincts, channel his ability, if you just go and look at the clip reel of him when he's on time in rhythm, receiver making his breaks, back foot drop. He's an absolute assassin in the pocket in those moments. But they're kind of, it's mixed in with a lot of the hanging around in the pocket, waiting for rushers to come, last second, making a move, extending plays, arm angles. All those things are great. And you can't suppress them, but you need to channel all the things he does, in the confines of the constructs of the offense. So I would take Cam Ward at 1 at this point. I truly would. You've got to have the quarterback, or else nothing else matters. And so this would be my swing at it. And I think Cam Ward has the right tools, and you have a coach that can help develop them.
But Travis Hunter is number 1 on your draft board, is he not?
He is, but he's not a quarterback.
Yet.
You're always trying to stir things up, Rich. Here we are, 72 up. There's only one certainty in this entire draft, and that's Cam Ward going 1. And we're gonna sit there and chip away at this.
I was listening. I apologize.
First of all,
him saying "yeah" was funny.
I was just gonna say Todd McShay's frame rate and image quality makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah. I know he's making more money than us too.
But yeah, no, I think that's I think they're right on the money, man. And I think Travis Hunter is probably the top player on a lot of people's board, but but position value changes all that thing. So is he really?
There's value. You can't take a wide receiver or a corner number 1 overall. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think by proxy that makes Cam Ward the most valuable player on the board. So.
Agreed.
Or the number 1 certainty in this draft is Travis Hunter. He's certain, don't you think? I mean, tell me what's uncertain about him. What, that he's going to try to bite off too much, and thus he's good at none because he's trying to be great at 2? Really? I don't know about that one, man. I
love him. I feel like you're trying to wedge me in a corner that I don't love.
I'm not wedging you anything. I'm talking about the way I feel. That's a YP, not an MP, Todd. What would I do? I would. Yes. I don't know. Listen, because I'm not a tape head. Okay, I'm not an all 22. I'm not grinding tape. I'm just not. So
here's the problem with Travis. Here's the problem. I can't love him any more than I do. Right. I mean, he's absolutely special. I think the thing that goes kind of overlooked because he's so great with the ball in his hands and the athleticism and the foot quickness and what he can do on both sides, he might have the best ball skills in the last decade of wide receivers coming out. Like everything in his zip code, he's catching. So I love everything about it. But let me ask you this question.
Sure.
Who's getting him the football?
No, I totally understand that. I get it. So who's getting him the football? I don't know. I mean, Cousins is sitting out there. You could flip draft capital for him. I understand he's late in his career, but there's that option. I guess they're done with Will Levis. You know what I mean? Like
can you blame
team him up with L'Jarius Sneed when he's not teamed up?
People are saying that like it's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like what are we thinking?
I think Rich Eisen's just out here just going to make conversation.
I'm much more fascinated. Like you're telling
boys are bored.
Yeah, he's just making conversation at this point because this video is after the last one.
How old is it?
This one's a day old. The other one was 4 days old. And so you see 4 days ago, he was talking about, they have to take, Cam Ward, blah, blah, blah. This one, he's trying to make a conversation about it. So.
Right. Yeah, they're bored, man. They're running out of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, aren't we all at this point? So we're all just trying to make it 2 more days.
It's going to get dead again here a few weeks after the draft, too. You'll have a little bit to talk about for a couple weeks, and then it's going to get rough. So.
I need to scroll a little more.
No, I can see much better.
Okay.
Right now, this new equipment.
Cool. So gonna do I did 7 rounds. So we're gonna take Mason Graham here, right? The first pick.
And we're sure. We're just picking ours, right? Okay.
Yeah. We're just doing. Yeah, I'm not gonna. All right.
I'm sitting there trying to scroll. Okay.
I see Luther Burns on the board.
Check the edge rush first, real quick.
All right.
And let's just go with no trade at first, depending. I guess it'll depend a little bit on what's here.
Landon Jackson would be the best edge, which I do like Landon Jackson, but I don't think the value is better than Luther Burden.
Do you take Luther Burden at 35?
Yeah, absolutely. He's some people's number one receiver in the draft. I think you would have to take Luther Burden here.
Well, go ahead and go with that. I'm cool with that.
And then we have to sit and wait because we don't pick again until 103.
This is where it gets rough, man.
If you don't trade back, this is what happens.
Now, other stuff. Hey, now other stuff.
Jermaine in the chat. Put Booby in if you want to spin.
Look,
what
man,
up, Jermaine?
We should old Boo Radley looking in my. We should mention that there are players that could move, man. You know what I mean? Don't forget AJ Brown, and there are some players that have been rumored. Rumors are rumors. Snead's a player that people think is possibly on the block. Jeffrey Simmons seems to always be a rumor every year. I feel like there was another name maybe that's
appreciate it, Jermaine. Loving the show. Appreciate it, Jermaine.
I don't know that, man. That's for my boys right there, man.
That's for the inside.
That's for the inside. Yeah, that's for the inside. I don't know, man. Did you look at so we've got our wide receiver.
So I do like Omar Norman Lott from Tennessee. I think he's really good. If you wanted to go
sitting here trying to click on it from my computer. I tried to click.
David Walker was a guy that Jordan DeJaney, when he came on the AFC South show, was really, really big on. He thinks David Walker has a high motor, just a go-getter kind of dude. So that'd be your best edge as a rep. I can go to.
Well, let's go look at the edge. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Jack Sawyer. I mean, I won't hate Jack Sawyer at that pick either.
Are you cool with that? I kind of like that, man. Honestly, if he's available down there at that, he is a dude.
Talk about a motor. He reminds me of
J.J. Watt written all over him.
Kyle Vanden Bosch. That's who he reminds me of.
Just guys like that, man, with that freaking engine in them, dude. Like,
we can go Jack Sawyer. I'm cool with that.
Dude. I'm cool with that. I like him and David Walker though.
All right, so we get here. I like Savion. I like Ty Felton. Billy Bowman, Lathan Ransom from Ohio State as well.
Mm-hmm.
Dante Thornton. There's that speed guy. We liked him a lot.
What about O-line?
See what they got going for let's do guard.
Yeah, let's check guards out.
Slater, Dellinger, Bryce. That one that just jumps off to me. Let me just see what they got. Let's see. I do like Lunt's pretty good. Rivers Nelson. Let's see what tight ends they have. Dang. All of them, my favorite tight ends are gone already, which makes sense at that position.
I mean, I wouldn't be hurt at another wide receiver or edge, to be honest.
So do you want somebody who's done a little bit more like a Ty Felton or someone who has all the traits, like a Dante Thornton, height, speed?
I'm going to go Dante Thornton just because I'm kind of picking some of my favorite players that I saw this year that I would be okay with. And he's got the big playability.
He does. We can go. I'm cool with Dante Thornton.
There was a lot of times, man, Nico Iamaleava was
I am really big
with him for a big
either
play.
of these running backs, Ollie Gordon or Damian Martinez.
Yeah, I watched more Damian Martinez than Ollie Gordon. So I'm more familiar with him. I'm not one of these draft experts, ladies and gentlemen, where I see every single one of these players, man. When we start getting down to these lower rounds, man, it starts to.
So 5'11", 217, athletic score of 8.19.
The only reason I don't like that is because that's just another Tajay Spears.
I like Ollie Gordon, 6'1", 226. Not as athletic, but a bigger body.
That's kind of what I'm thinking more that we need as far as a running back style. I don't think we need another 5'11", 215-pound kind of guy, you know. What did
Yeah,
you
we'll
go
go
with,
with
Ollie?
Ollie. Yeah, I think that's a
Okay.
good pick. I'm cool with McLaughlin here. Get another edge. Kaiser.
Yeah, what's edge?
I like Kaiser a lot.
That's another great one too. You want to go with Kaiser? You want to take a
Yeah.
stab? Or do you think he'd be available next pick? Maybe
No, I don't. I think, and you're already looking at
go with Kaiser. I'm
He could
cool
be a
with
special
Kaiser.
teams guy even this first little bit.
He was a fun player to watch as well. There's
Now
your guy right there, still there.
McLaughlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could take him. We need somebody who can. This would be our last pick. So just to go.
So what have we all addressed? We've
got quarterback, 2 receivers, edge,
running back, and a linebacker,
and an offensive lineman. So you're open. You could go a defensive
you can
lineman.
do almost anything here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a safety, another edge.
Mitchell Evans would be an okay pick at tight end there.
Let's see what we're looking at. Fairly athletic, 6'5", 258. I'm okay with that. Let's see what other tight ends are right there, though. Just
check it out. He was good though. He was fun player to watch as well.
Definitely don't need another receiver. I want maybe cornerback or safety. Wohler. Jordan DeJaney was really big on him too.
Yeah.
He said he's more like a in the body. Look how damn 9.2.
So then I would say it's probably between that and the tight end.
Let's go with Wohler because I think even though we don't have an elite tight end, we still have a lot of tight ends on the roster.
Yeah.
So I guess the draft is still going.
See what we get if we get a better grade this time.
They don't give us
average
grades, but
you don't get grades on this one. Okay.
No, but I mean, if the draft came out like that, Cam Ward, Luther Burden, Jack Sawyer, Dante Thornton, Ollie Gordon.
Go ahead and get a screenshot of that too. We'll post this on X.
Yeah, I'll save that. But yeah, if that was our draft, I wouldn't be too upset about that at all.
No, not at all, man. You got Dante Thornton, Luther Burden, those top 4 picks, man. If it would go that way, I would be ecstatic. I think that's an A+ draft right there.
Yeah, I agree.
In my opinion, you get those 2 wide receivers, Jack Sawyer and Cam Ward.
I agree.
I'm doing backflips naked in the streets on 2nd Avenue, man.
You do that anyway.
Running away from the cops.
All right, so I think that's a good little bit of a show. We can get out of here. Before we do, we always got to hit you with our final bite.
Yeah, real.
Didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good. I'll just go ahead and do mine. Just a shout out, happy birthday, April 13th, about a week ago. Well, a little over a week ago now. Eddie Robinson Jr., former Oiler.
Thank you. My final bite is actually just going to go to Dominic's for allowing us to come in there. We appreciate them. Once again, Thursday, we're going to be getting our final bites on at Dominic's in Hermitage. So please come out there. We'll probably go live a little bit before the draft. Just not going to go too early because not much to cover going in because we all know what's about to happen. But we'll be there. I'll probably try to get there around 6 and probably go live around
tater skins.
6:50 or something like that. But yeah, please come on out.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, shout out Curtis Podcast Network once again. Like, share, subscribe. Let us know what you're thinking down below. Just wanted to say real quick, you've noticed maybe if you watch us and stuff, I am in a different setting here. I'm in my different office, which is AKA the other wall. Got some wrestling stuff I'm going to be recording and stuff. I have a new wrestling channel. If you're one of those guys, I know I see a lot of crossover with Titans fans and wrestling and stuff sometimes, you know.
I enjoy it.
So football fans in general, I guess. But so if you're one of those people that enjoys a little bit of it, and it's WWE centric, I'm going to get into some of the AEW stuff. Maybe I'm going to get some friends and other people that are more knowledgeable on maybe to talk about some of that stuff. But yeah, if you enjoy that stuff, if that's for you, I'm going to leave a link down below. I'll put a picture up here down below so you can see the icon and stuff and and find the one you're looking for. But just come along, man. Check it out. I'm going to be reviewing PLEs, Monday Night Raw, stuff like that. So appreciate anybody who's willing to come along for that. Just wanted to mention that for anybody who's interested. So.
Call it WrestleMania. You didn't mention the name.
WrestleMania. Yeah, WrestleMania is the name.
Play off our last name, WrestleMania.
Yeah. What a great advertisement, man. I didn't even mention the name of the channel.
No, it's all good, man. I
I
made sure we got it in there, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, but I will leave the link and everything as well down below. So appreciate everybody, man.
On that note, check, please. This is on your new channel. Put it on its tab.